Alright, timestamp April 22nd, 2026, almost 6 p.m. I've got a Walmart order on the way. Took a nap. Got another load of dishes in the dishwasher because, wow. And I got whiny puppies. Okay, guys, if you move, I can actually walk through here. There you go. You're a genius. Fly, my pretties. Okay. I got a package in, which is cool. I'm going to refill my coffee real quick. Still doing some Wile E. Coyote. I made a vanilla macadamia because good stuff. I love this stuff. It makes me happy. But pretty much not the last eBay order that I've got out there. I've actually got okay, so my dad, being a tinker and engineer, has been suckered in by gimmicky gadgets before. It's true. But he picked up a flashlight thing he showed me a year ago, what have you. He'd gotten 2 of them. And I'm not going to blind you, I promise. It's by Bell Howell. And it's got, like, each side runs on 2 AA's, and it is bright. And with all of the excavation, I guess, the nice way of putting it, that we're having to do around here, he got 2 of them. He got one for him and one for Mom. It's got a really handy handle, and the way it's set up, you can like pivot the handles and pivot the lights themselves. You can turn it into, well, I'll show you. It has all kinds of tricks to it. I mean, we've been using them pretty much like that, to use it as a really big, bright focus beam. But the versatility on this thing, I can set it up like that and just have it on a work area. And again, if one of the things goes down, you still got one of them because it's got 2 separate independent powered lights. Pretty cool. It's one of those as seen on TV products, which is part of why I was like, but the more we've used these around here, because we got tons of flashlights and batteries, and a lot of them are just garbage. These, however, that was a good find, Dad. But they're an as seen on TV product, and Amazon doesn't have any. I looked at eBay, and there were people that actually had some, so I've got 2 more of those on the way. Somebody had 2 and they were selling them together. So I got 2 more of those on the way, so that will give us 4 of them, which is great. That's not a toy exactly. This is the last toy that I've got on order through eBay. It just got here today, waiting for me when I got up from my nap. Taped really well. Terrifyingly well. There's another way. Never had one of these before, and doing the small ships they look cool, and I wanted to see. It's not complete, so yeah. I mean, in the listing, he said it was incomplete, so we'll see how bad a shape it's in, what have you. I didn't pay much for it. I think I paid like 20 round trip. I am amused by one of the things going on here. It was in the listing this way, and it made me go, what? So I can see them through the bubble. So this is a V-wing. It's from the clone period, what have you. And the thing that tickled me. Okay, so it's an R2 unit that is part of. I could probably pull it out, but it's pretty much as is. The thing that tickled me. What's that? Including a Tusken Raider figure, which I'm not certain how that story element transpired, let's put it that way. Somehow stole a V-wing. So I think it's missing the like side wings or what have you. I don't even know what all it's missing. Frankly, I don't know them well enough. It's obviously missing some kind of front piece. But I'm looking for work in project kind of spaceship for hangar bay. And just the base look, I can probably do some neat things with it. And eventually I'll get one that's like complete so I can figure out what is supposed to be happening here. It's got a fun look to it though. Okay, clearly that does pop out, but I don't know what is the goal here. I don't know. No, I've done it. Oh, you apparently pop out slightly. Looks like something would fit in there. Potentially a pew-pew. There's a button on top. Which makes me think that would release like some Nerf missile kind of stuff. But yeah, I can work with this. And that pushes in. I'm not sure what it activates or doesn't activate. Again, just getting like rough components to work from. Exactly. Front landing gear. So that makes it sit about like that. At rest. Yeah, I can do stuff to that. And the scratches and whatnot, that's actually, I can tell it's factory, it's supposed to look like that. supposed to have that weathered look. It's a clone fighter, I believe, of sorts, like Republic. It's gonna be fun. Once I get things stabilized, because Luther, through our finances, was way out of whack. Once I get things more stable, I'll probably go back to the well and get a complete one so I can figure out what makes this incomplete, but also even a couple more that are in this kind of condition to work with, because, yeah, it's a good size. It's not, no, I don't know how to spell that. Probably some R's in there. Not a lot of vowel. Oh, I like it. Got it there for the moment. Oh. Yeah, the boxes that Pix brought over. No big skillet. A lot of stoneware baking pans. Like loaf pans, stoneware. Like Corningware. There's actually some Martha Stewart ones. I don't remember those. I think those, the last really, like, family-friendly Christmas that we had was the end of 2022, and that was when Pix and I basically, we didn't really have much going on money-wise. We were not ignoring holidays, but we weren't going big with it. And what do you get the people that buy 20 of everything they don't need? You know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. So my parents were like, come over for Christmas. We've got some stuff for you and for the kids. And it's like, okay. Well, and they were like, we don't need anything. It was like, which, yeah, clearly. I said, you know what? We'll bring the food. Pix and I, if we can use your kitchen, we'll cook dinner. Yeah, so we brought food. And it was good because we're good at what we do. But I think that's where the Martha Stewarts came from. I think my mom got Pix and I like a big Martha Stewart bakeware set. But I don't think we ever pulled it out of the box. I think it was just kind of sitting in the box because, cramped conditions at George and all that. And we already had some stuff, but in going through everything, I think Pix probably broke it out of the box and packed it, which, cool. It looks pretty nice. Not necessarily a big Martha Stewart fan. I'm amused as hell that she's become good friends with Snoop. That's the unlikeliest buddy cop movie I think I've ever seen. Really rather phenomenal. But I mean, it does work. He brings his stuff and then she cures their munchies. Right? I mean, that would work pretty well, right? What are you on about? Sorry, Scrap was barking and then looking at a certain area of the lanai. I know, I saw you. I was trying to figure out what you were looking at, pal. Yeah, it's all the crumbs. I'm going to put a couple on the ground for you, okay? There you go. Together, that's actually a pretty big piece. It's like a lot of little broken pieces in the bottom. Yeah, it's the jerky, man. It's the good stuff. He's a bonehead, but he's a good dog. I pulled out the diner booths, and one of the screws, unlike Ado Annie, is telling me no. And I'm real close to stripping it out, so I'm going to get back to that. But this is what they look like fully assembled in their natural state. They got 4 screw holes in the bottom that you can piece it, you know. So that is very obviously the back panel. I may actually try and like prime and paint this in place without taking it apart, since that screw's doing what it's doing. Not sure yet. But I want to make these to match the other ones again, because when I do eventually break my lounge down, gotta build it first, right? I want to enjoy it before I tear it down. So right now it's just kind of a cluster with a capital F in here. But it won't be. It won't be. Very similar color scheme. They flip some of the colors, but they're the same colors. So that's what they look like now. You can see the before and after. And put them side by side. So there we go. And that's after I did a repaint on that side of it. You can see that they're kind of mirrored to a degree. That's the way they actually come. So I'm gonna start priming the back panels on those two, and those are, I always hear Brad in my head. He did a lot of Rocky Horror AP, which was really handy when doing the show many years later, because I knew what to expect. But anytime I have like certain phrases and whatnot in my head, I hear, "Hey Brad, spell urine." You are, it's just part of the voices in my head. So it's going to be the pink, what did you call that? Sakura? I'm not familiar with that. Und then, to signify kind of a sun, orange yellow. So that's what it will be when I'm done with it, but I gotta prime it first. Because working with plastics, really good idea to prime them. Not priming it, good luck. I mean, you can, but you're better off doing a primer that's actually made for plastics. The paint sticks better. So that's on my list. Got Walmart order on the way. Let me refresh that and see if we've got any kind of an ETA. You're saying it's on the way to me, but do you really mean it? Do you mean it? I think you do mean it. One thing that they've added with the Walmart ordering, I don't know if everybody's got it going on in their area. One of the things that used to infuriate me was you can put in substitution choices. Okay? That's not the part that infuriates me. If you put in vitamin D whole milk, a gallon, if they don't have that, you can say, give me 2% if you don't have the whole milk. For a while, they were taking the idea that you're okay with a substitution and just picking something that you didn't choose as a substitute. They say, oh, we don't have the 2%, so we're going to bring you, a Lactaid, that's like $2 more. And it's like, okay, I need you to not get creative with my instructions. Does that make sense? It's really annoying. Really annoying. I know on one occasion I'd ordered one of the big vanilla creamers for coffee, and they apparently didn't have it. So they sent like 8 little half pints of creamer, which wound up being like $8 instead of $3, because each one's like $1 or whatever. And they were like, well, volume-wise, these 8 make up for that big container. And it's like, no, absolutely not. That, I don't know, unless you had to have that amount, I don't know that most human beings would say, I got this, I know how to fix this problem. It was just, it got excessive. It was like every order they'd get really creative, and it's like, I kept sending them complaints, frankly, and I felt very, very Karen, but it's like, guys, I said, bring me this. If you don't have this, bring me this. And then you brought me this. It's like, that's not even close to what I was asking for. But now they've got a new feature on the substitution thing. It's a little box you can check that basically says, if they don't have your substitute, stop there. Kind of a if then else kind of thing. You want this, you'll take this. If you don't check the box, we might get creative. And I'm like, thank you. After, 3 years of you guys just making it up. Well, you got some sugar-free stuff, so we brought you diet sodas. Okay, the sugar-free stuff was for my wife, who doesn't drink the sodas. You're substituting something for the wrong person, and quit getting creative with my wallet. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Really annoying. Get off my lawn. I really do. It was like, God, you're bringing out like the old man genes in me. Don't do this. Stop it. So yeah, I'm loving that new feature of, you don't have that? Stop. I'll just get it the next, exactly. I'll just get it the next time. I'm all about creativity and nonconformity and all that, but at a certain point, enough. Yeah. I love this coffee. So once Walmart gets here, I'm going to seem like a complete slacker, but I'm probably going to bed down again because Pix should be here. We're going to try again for the whole 4 in the morning kind of thing to get in the attic. And as you can probably hear, dishwasher is still running. It's been going for an hour and a half, 2 hours now. Again, the whole 5-hour thing, okay, it's maybe not 5 hours, it may only be like 3 or 4. It just seems like it's a really long time. And I know I did have a dishwasher that took like an hour and a half at one point. So I don't know if this one, I don't know if this one's like the outlier or if the one I had before was the outlier. It's been a long time and I've had head injuries since then, so, who can say. But yeah, this one always just seems to take forever. Like, it's very strange. Okay, I've just got a flag saying great news. Should arrive. Oh, it's being delivered right now. We could be creepy and go look through the window on the door. Not going to do that to him. Honestly, the last year or two, that's what my parents used to do through that glass. And it was, maybe it's because they were older people who were losing their minds. It made it more disturbing because I knew. But it's very horror movie kind of shit, you know. Just looking through the glass and I'm about to get hit with an axe. I know it, you know, that kind of vibe. Still curious about the Tusken Raider stealing the V-Wing storyline. They said, you know, just kind of random stuff, action figure included, and showed it in the cockpit, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, you get a free Tusken Raider out of that. That's pretty cool. These things don't normally go together, but alright, yeah, that's fine. Very detailed figure, though. Some nice detail. Not sure, when are you from? Oh, there we go. "2005. Definitely not from the Book of Fett. That's what I was kind of curious about, to see if it was one of the more recent ones, like from the Book of Fett. Because, spoilage, whatnot, Boba Fett basically befriends a tribe of Tusken Raiders. Some really interesting characters in that. It's a good miniseries. I like that. I like that a lot. But 2005, no, not it. Nope. It cannot be. That's way more wibbly wobbly than is actually possible. Still running. I'm going to go ahead and, because I think I'm hearing some sounds, so I think it may be being delivered right now. So I'm going to go do that. Grab some sleep, wake up, probably prime some booths. That screw was just not cooperating. Very sad. Very sad. I'll figure it out. Now I may have to prime and paint it as it is in one piece, which just be careful, use a fine brush, and I can make it work. Pain in the butt, but I can do it. Damn it. So, just a quick update. Health-wise, I always seem to be tired lately, and I think that's the stress. Otherwise, I feel pretty good. I have nothing for you, Queenie. Okay. So, hug your parents. Hug your kids. And make it a great day.